this is Kerry Paulson with the Automatic Fisherman. I'm going to show you how to set up our 27-inch rod for crappies, perch, and smaller fish like that. You see, right here we have the trigger arm, which is this red part that I just lifted up. We put that into the back hole. We put the trigger nut all the way on like this. Set it back here, it's all the way on like that. And then the shaft is bent just a little bit back towards the rod holder. And when you're ready to fish, you just lay this on the ice like that. You put your rod in the holder, and you see we have a bobber. We have our small foam counterweight and slack bobber. And what I'm going to do now, I'm going to take a minnow. I can get one. If you see here, I'm going to show you how I like to hook my minnows. I like to hook them in front of the dorsal fin. And I have on about a number 14 treble hook. So that minnow is still pretty lively. I go about 12 inches and I put my sinker. And I'll just start putting it down there. And crappie fishing, we're fishing in about 20 feet of water. So I'll put this about 7 feet down. But let's say you were after perch or walleyes, there's another way that you can do this. You can just keep taking the slack out of the system until the sinker hits the bottom. Once the sinker hits the bottom, you'll see all the slack line in the line right now. The ice stopper is laying sideways and it's not going down any further. So what I do there is I take the rod and I engage it to the pin and I hold this and I just reel everything up until my ice stopper stands up. Now every time the bail of the reel goes around one revolution, 4 inches of line comes up. And because I have my sinker 12 inches away from my hook, I'll go through and I'll go, there's 4 inches, there's 8 inches, there's 12 inches. Now my minnow is right at the bottom of the ground. So then if I want to go through and fish another 12 inches off the bottom, there was 4 inches, 8, 12 inches. Now I'm 12 inches off the bottom if I was going to fish perch. And then I can go through and I'm still holding this and I'll just go through and I'll pull the slack line out of the reel to get it so my bobber goes down. And we're fishing in kind of a windy day today, so our new bobbers are going to have like a little pin coming out of the bobber. And then we have 2 holes drilled in the base of the Automatic Fisherman, so it can be all as windy as it wants to be, and that bobber isn't going to flip around everywhere. So here's what happens. Now when a fish comes up and grabs this bait, he's going to take this out. There's no resistance there. That bobber's going to come up. That fish is going to have time to take that bait in his mouth better. The second that line gets tight, the rod flips off that pin, sets the hook. That fish, he's on the rod. You'll hear that loud crack like that. And then you walk over to the rod, take it out of the holder, fight your fish on a rod and reel. So that's basically, oh wait, one last thing. When you do have this all set up, like that, and if it's super cold out, we have a product called the ice stopper. What you got to do there is snap this apart by just taking 2 thumbs and your fingers and just breaking it apart like that. And then you take the solution, you put your finger underneath the bottom of it so it can't leak out, because if I do, there it starts leaking out. So I put my finger underneath it, I fill it up to the top, and I snap it down. What that ice stopper does is it eliminates the line from freezing into the ice, so that fish can always have that free slack line. And so the ice stopper will work till about 50 below zero. So your hole will freeze up with ice, but where the line goes through the reservoir, it'll still go through it. So thanks for your time, and That's one of the parts about how to set up the 27-inch rod for panfish.